Item number SCP-4927. Index: Have a nice flight. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures: Any civilians who are near an SCP-4927 manifestation will be amnesticized and brought to the nearest population center. If the amnesticization fails, the cover story, Foggy Nights, will be enacted. Description: SCP-4927 is a phenomenon that occurs between 200 AM and 400 AM in derelict airports and those with less than 100 annual flights. SCP-4927 begins with the appearance of fog, followed by the landing of a commercial aircraft, designated as SCP-4927-1. SCP-4927-1 instances are discontinued models manufactured between 1945 and 1990. Upon landing, SCP-4927-1 will open its gate, disembarking passengers and staff, SCP-4927-2 and SCP-4927-3 respectively. SCP-4927-2 instances are dressed in clothing typical of 1945 to 1990. SCP-4927-3 are airport employees. Currently, only security guards and exit door employees have been seen. An SCP-4927-3 instance will always inform that SCP-4927-1 has made a stop in a flight towards notable population centers. The second effect is activated when an individual observes SCP-4927 at a distance of less than 10 meters. The subject will feel a slight compulsion to board, and after speaking with an SCP-4927-3 instance, will board onto SCP-4927-1. Note that in none of SCP-4927 manifestations a ticket has been required. Any attempt to thoroughly inspect or enter SCP-4927-1 will result in the expulsion of the individuals involved by SCP-4927-3 and prohibition of boarding SCP-4927-1 in future manifestations. When SCP-4927-2 instances, along with the affected subject, board SCP-4927-1, the gate will close from the inside, and then SCP-4927-1 will take off, thus concluding an SCP-4927 event. From this point on, the subject cannot be contacted. Within 2 to 20 hours, the subject will reappear at the airport located in the population center mentioned by the SCP-4927-3 instance. Note: if the population center contains 2 or more airports, the airport will be chosen at random. Interview log. Interviewee: D18457. Interviewer: Dr. Borja Dowell. Forward. On 0809-2012, SCP-4927 manifested in the Castellon, Costa Azaha Airport. D18457 was instructed to board SCP-4927-1 and report any relevant aspects. This is the first time a subject boards SCP-4927-1. Begin log. Dr. Dowell: Greetings, D18457. Since we were unable to contact you, you may be able to tell us what you saw. D18457: I couldn't contact you because there was no signal on the plane. In fact, I didn't see anyone with cell phones, and the only phone I saw had a wheel and a cable. Noted. Did you peek into the windows? Yeah, but they were all lowered, and I couldn't see anything. I raised one, and just fog. You couldn't even see the water or the lights from the cities. All right. Did you notice anything strange in SCP-4927-3 instances? Not really. They served me well and had a smile and a voice that made you feel like you were in heaven. Aside from some good focus on the subject, please. Okay. Were you able to interact with any SCP-4927-2 instances? Yeah. There was a Chinese or Korean man dressed as a soldier, talking about a war in Korea and that he was not man enough. I suppose it would be South Korea. Another one looked like a hippie who was giving up LSD because he said that he saw terrifying birds. I didn't pay much attention to him. The last person who listened to me was a lady in her 40s. She just told me she was doing this for her kids. Did you notice anything unusual about the rest of the voyage? Two things. One was that the plane barely made any noise and didn't seem to move. And the other one was that most of them were scared stiff, and you could hear the stewardesses singing for an hour or so from the speakers. It was the best thing I ever heard in my life, and I only like listening to metal. Such a pity that the flight lasted so little. Thank you for your cooperation, D18457. End log. Addendum. On 14/5/2015, SCP-4927 manifested in the Manston Airport. D4657 was instructed to board SCP-4927-1 and report any relevant aspects. After reporting the relevant aspects, D4657 said that he saw an SCP-4927-2 instance resembling his father. D4657's father had died in an aviation incident on 22/9/1988.